What's up everybody, it's Gomedex. Welcome back to another Pauper video here. Today I'll be playing a Dimir control deck. This is really similar to Clear the Mind control deck that you would draft in Ravnica Allegiance, or just, a Dimir control deck that you would draft in Guilds of Ravnica. The game plan is essentially to just stop everything that your opponent does. You want to destroy all of their creatures with Lich's Caress, Impales, stuff like that, and counter all of their non-creature spells that might be problematic. And then you just shuffle your grave back in with Clear the Mind or Devious Cover-Ups, so that you're always drawing a little bit better than your opponent, because you'll have more non-land stuff than your opponent, and then eventually, because you keep shuffling your cards back in and they do not, they will mill themselves naturally. We do also have 3 Thought Collapse in here. The only reason that I run Thought Collapse instead of Cancel is just so that they lose slightly faster. Technically, we could just run Cancel if we really wanted to, but this just speeds up the game a little bit, but it's not completely necessary. So the 4 Undercity's Embrace are for hexproof creatures, because we would have absolutely no game plan against hexproof cards without Undercity's Embrace. So this is the Dimir control deck, and let's see how it does in the event. So yeah, we have Dead Weights and Moment of Craving to try to stave off the really fast red decks and stuff like that. And then obviously the counter spells and stuff that destroys any creature is really good against the green ramp decks. I think that the biggest problem that this deck would have would probably be Persistent Petitioners decks. Just because we have 4 Deadweight and 4 Moment of Craving, which just are completely useless against those decks. And even though we run multiple Clear the Minds, it is still very possible for them to mill us out if they manage to get their 4 copies of Petitioners out. So, it looks like we're against blue-red here, with a Goblin Electromancer to start. Don't really have any choices here, just gonna draw some cards. So, double Artful Takedown is definitely nice against aggressive decks. You get to stop 2 attacking creatures with it, one of them's dead forever, the other you just temporarily put on hold. So we'll see what they got here. We'll see if they're one of the decks with Fire Urchin and stuff like that. Looks like they are just suiting up the Electromancer, giving it +2/+1 and Menace. Yeah, I think we're just going to use one of our instant speed removal spells on it. I guess they could have a counter spell, so we might want to just kill it right now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use Undercity's Embrace, because I don't think that they have any hexproof creatures, so Undercity's Embrace is probably just going to be better now than any other time. Because if they end up having 2 creatures on the board later, Artful Takedown is definitely going to be way better than Undercity's Embrace. So we'll go ahead and get the Undercity's Embrace out of the way first, while their blue is tapped down. So now they have an Aven Wind Mage, 2/2 flyer, and it gets temporarily larger whenever they cast an instant or sorcery. I think I'm going to go ahead and Lich's Caress that. They're playing blue-red. I find it very unlikely that they're going to be playing any creatures with higher than 4 toughness, so I'm just going to use all of my sorcery speed removal out first. Plus Lich's Caress gains me the life there and uses all of my mana. Another Aven Wind Mage. Alright. Guess we're doing another Undercity's Embrace. I can go ahead and pass and see what they do during their turn this time. If they end up using a counterspell on this Undercity's Embrace, it's not that bad. It would have been a lot worse when they had the 4-power guy out. I'm going to allow the Pyromancer. Since it's a creature, we can just deal with it with one of our removal spells. Alright, so they send in the Wind Mage. Let's go ahead and kill it now. See if they have a negate here. It's like a nope. Right, so we play our land. Now we can Undercity's Embrace them, and we'll have the mana up for Secrets of the Golden City. I might also even, like, it might be worth just casting Clear the Mind now, just to put 5 more non-land cards in our deck that are all relevant draws. But then we're just drawing 1 card instead of 2. I think I'll just cast Secrets first. Drawn to another Secrets and a Devious Cover-Up, so definitely want them to take a turn off at some point, so that we can save up these counter spells instead of having to Artful Takedown or something. So we have 6 mana. So I can Secrets of the Golden City and still cast a Thought Collapse. Fine with that. This guy's going to do 2 damage at most, and I could just draw into a Moment of Craving or a Deadweight. I did not, so we are going to take the 2 damage from him this turn, but we have a Thought Collapse back up. Goblin Electromancer. I'll let him out as well, just because literally any removal spell in our deck will get rid of him, just like the Lava Runner. You get to draw a couple cards up to Clear the Mind here, or to Clear the Minds, plural. So, do I just Impale him and save up the Thought Collapse again? Seems fine. Just taking 1 a turn here, even not even 2. They still have not triggered the +1 power on the Lava Runner somehow. Yeah, they've just only drawn creatures this game, so that's pretty good for us. So we take 1. My turn steps are glitching. They're all squished together. Alright. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so I can Clear the Mind and save up Devious Cover-Up, or a Thought Collapse, or an Artful Takedown, so I'm going to go ahead and Clear the Mind. Shuffle my grave back in, draw a card here. Drawn to the Impale. I'm not going to cast it, because I'd rather save up a counterspell here, and then if they don't play any creatures this turn, then I'll just Artful Takedown at the end of their turn. It's okay to just take the 1 damage here, just to make sure that they're not playing anything better. And it looks like they're not for the time being, so we're gonna use both the effects for fun. It is already tapped, so it doesn't really need to get tapped again, but there's no reason not to. Alright, land for turn, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So we have... I think I'm just going to save the mana up so that I have both my counter spells up. I don't need to Clear the Mind again for a long time. We've only got 2 cards in our grave. And I can also just shuffle our whole grave back in whenever I cast Devious Cover-Up anyway, because it shuffles up to 4 cards back in. And I don't particularly need to draw any cards right now. I've got a hand full of removal and counters. So it looks like opponent is just sandbagging cards in their hand. It is entirely possible that they just have a bunch of removal in hand. That is another one of the advantages that this deck has a lot in most matches. Most decks are running some forms of removal, and every single removal spell in any opponent's deck is just completely a blank card against this deck because we don't run any creatures. We just win by having a larger deck, thanks to Clear the Mind. So Kargan Dragon Rider, okay. Once again, I'm going to just use all of the removal spells before. I'm going to use the most situational things first, so because Deadweight specifically just gives -2/-2, I don't know that Deadweight is going to kill whatever they play next, so I'll just play Deadweight first. Then whatever they play next, I'll probably use Lich's Caress on to gain the life. But yeah, I'm saving all the counter spells in case they have some kind of really threatening non-creature spell. So, Unexplained Disappearance, return a creature to its owner's hand. I don't think I need to counter that. I can just let them replay the Dragon Rider. that might be a reason to start using counter spells before removal spells now. If they are the kind of deck that just has like 4 Unexplained Disappearance, like 4 Unsummon. I don't actually know if Unsummon is in Standard right now. But it's Unexplained Disappearance for 1 mana, but it doesn't Surveil. Still just gonna allow this. See if they can bounce it again. Oh. I'm gonna let them suit that up. Because now if they bounce it again, they're just gonna lose the aura here. Let's see, you gonna bounce it again? Or is it just gone? Or do they have a dive down at this point? Nope, it's just gone. Alright. Things are going pretty well over here. I'm gonna just save up double counterspell here, rather than clear the mind. This is a very slow, very drawn-out deck, so this is definitely going to be a much longer video than yesterday's, regardless of what my record is. Alright, now I've definitely got the extra mana to just cast a Clear the Mind. Excuse me. Alright. We will see if they have anything to get out of this, but I'm pretty sure that we are just vastly in the winning role right now. I think that either they have a bunch of removal in hand, or they're trying to sandbag a bunch of spells so that in one turn they can play a bunch of really threatening stuff. I'm going to go ahead and Thought Collapse the Shock, stay at as high a life total as possible just in case. Ooh, they have Lava Axes in their deck, so now we know they have Lava Axes that we need to keep counter spells up for. That is 3 more damage than a shock. That's 5 to somebody's face. Right. It's like they are just passing. I do not know what is going on with my turn order symbols. So if they play anything with less than 2 toughness, we are obviously just going to let it resolve. I would definitely like to gain the life off this. Just be as safe as possible. So whenever we start redrawing our Secrets of the Golden City, they're just going to be really good now, because I definitely have the City's Blessing. So now they are draw 3 cards per secrets. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Alright, let's draw 3 cards. Just play a land here. And just discard the extra lands. Looks like we only have to discard one of the lands. Opponent has nothing. Probably some removal, maybe even some counter spells at this point. Since nobody's really cast anything for a few turns now. That is how the games go with this deck. So this deck is, it's really weird because I'm not usually like a control player, but like this particular deck, I happen to enjoy. I don't know why. It just reminds me a lot of like mill decks in Pokemon, in the Pokemon trading card game. I am a big fan of mill, and I don't know what it is about mill. I'm going to let this one resolve so they don't just Lava Axe me. Divination. Yeah, you can Divination. As long as I have more cards than them, I think I'm fine. Which I guess I technically don't now, but I've got enough. But yeah, I really enjoy mill decks, and mill decks in Pokemon were always like this kind of deck. Like, it was a bunch of energy removal to make sure that your opponent can't attack. Of course, in this deck, it's just a bunch of straight up removal. I'm actually going to draw one of the Impales, or discard one of the Impales, because Undercity's Embrace is instant speed. Looks like the scoop is here. I will give them the GG back. But yeah, mill decks in Pokemon just use energy removal to make sure that your opposing team's Pokemon cannot attack because they don't have enough energy to. And they basically just sit there and mill their opponent like 2 cards a turn. This deck is very similar in that the entire game plan is to just remove anything of your opponent's that could possibly hurt you, and then just sit there and watch them mill. Like, it's a very slow controlling kind of mill that I'm sure is very irritating to play against, but for some reason it's kind of enjoyable to play. This is a real risky hand. Definitely need a swamp or a dual land. I think I have to mulligan that. Oh boy, this is pretty risky as well. We do get the 3rd land there, but I should get the 4th for this hand to be really okay. Alright, this is kind of a problem. We're playing against a red deck without any of our really anti-red cards. Okay, we're playing against red-blue again. Alright, well, One with the Wind on Lavamancer actually is completely not what I would have expected, but that works out pretty well for me. That lets me get the 2-for-1 in here, using my Undercity's Embrace to kill their creature and the aura. Definitely very scared when I saw I was playing against red again, but then they played the island and I was like, okay, blue-red is not as bad. They don't put the massive fear on me. They are definitely a slower, more tempo-based deck, as blue-red usually is, and that actually gives me some time to breathe and set up the game plan. Mono red sometimes can just come out of nowhere and crush you, even in Pauper. That is what I noticed last time I played Pauper. I just got demolished by all of the red decks. So we're just letting our opponent set up here. We don't have the mana to counter the Opt even if we wanted to, and I do not think that we would want to counter the Opt. Opponent plays a Spark Tongue Dragon. Interesting. Card's pretty nice against my deck because I'm gonna have to counter that thing late game. But yeah, it's pretty nice because I do have a lot of sorcery speed removal in my deck, so creatures like Viashino Pyromancer and Spark Tongue Dragon that still damage you even if they just get removed before they ever attack are actually pretty nice. Speak of Viashino Pyromancer. So I'm gonna take the 2. Probably just deadweight it during my turn. Arcane Flight, okay. Still probably just gonna deadweight it. See if they're running stuff like Dive Down. If they are, we're gonna have to play 2 spells to kill it instead of just the deadweight, unfortunately. Ooh, Moment of Craven to gain some life. I'm gonna just play Deadweight, because that saves 4 mana up if they don't do anything. That saves Devious Cover-Up or Artful Takedown for next turn. Alright. It resolves. No dive downs from opponent. Secrets of the Golden City. It's a nice card. I'm gonna let him draw the cards. It's possible that I should have just countered that. I don't know what else they have. I feel like if they just draw into more creatures and auras, then I'll be fine. Which they have played Arcane Flight and One with the Wind, so definitely I hope that they're the kind of deck that has 4 copies of each, because that would help a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and end of turn, gain some life off the Herald. See what we get. Just a land. Pass. Opponent has a lot more cards than me. But it looks like some of them are lands as well. Hopefully most of them. They could have some Shivan Fires stranded in there that are just straight up deal damage to creatures. That would definitely be good for me. Here's an opt. Have I even played anything? No, I have not played anything that shuffles any of my cards back in, or anything that mills them yet, and they're already at like 9 cards less than me because they've drawn so many cards. Opponent has quite the value engine going on. They've cast Divination, opt, Secrets, opt. I have no idea. Okay, the symbols fixed themselves. Cast the more expensive one first, I guess. It might be better to just not cast anything until they start putting auras on their stuff, but I want to just get it out of the way as soon as possible, so I don't have to worry about it later. Yeah, I think from now on, because I've seen so many auras from them, I should really just not kill the 1/1s until they try to put something on it. They're just not a threat by themselves. That's 1 damage a turn. That's a pretty long clock. This game is going to last at least 17 more turns, though, so it would kill me eventually. Because my deck does not win fast. It does win. I'm gonna go ahead and Thought Collapse that Divination, actually. Now that I have double Counterspell, so I have the backup, they do something else heinous. Onto an Impale. So Clear the Mind would be a pretty good draw. Shuffle a bunch of relevant cards back into the deck and draw a card. Secrets of the Golden City would obviously be a good draw. That's really all we're wanting right now, is just some more draw, just to make sure that we've got more answers than they have threats. Actually, just cover that up. I'm gonna just allow it. It's just 2 damage. They have so many lands that anytime they play anything at this point, we have to worry about if they're going to play something better afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got the City's Blessing now, so I think we should stop that. So we'll shuffle in the Counterspell, the Draw Spell, an Artful Takedown, and a Moment of Craving, I think. Ooh, they might be thinking about countering my counter. That would be pretty bad. Alright. Nope. I think they might just be reading it. Alright. So the Pyromancer is out. I'm gonna just Impale it when it comes to my turn. Use the Sorcery Speed removal first, or Lich's Caress if we drew that. Gain a little bit of life. Let's see what they got. Last a few cards here. The other weird thing about countering their card draw is their card draw does get them closer to milling faster, but we don't want them to have cards in their hand, we want them to have cards in their grave. But yeah, we have to really worry that, like, the way that we win is by always having more answers than they have threats. So the more cards they draw, the more likely it is for them to have more threats than we have answers. So I think that countering when they play something that draws like 3 cards is pretty necessary. When it only draws 2 cards, it's like hit or miss. You can probably just not counter those. So we did draw the Clear the Mind, so that was very nice. Into the Secrets of the Golden City. We are just completely set up here. Actually just not going to cast the second one until next turn, because if I cast it, I'm just going to have to discard something. And I will also not have very much mana up. I won't even have double blue up if I cast the second one. Seems pretty risky. Alright, Secrets of the Golden City. Jesus Christ, that's 2 more Secrets of the Golden City? I think we could probably just discard one of the secrets and just keep the other one for whenever they actually start playing stuff. We run out of answers. We'll discard Deadweight because it's sorcery speed. Gotta discard one more card. So we just discard an Impale. I mean, I'm at 18 life. I probably discard Moment of Craving just because it's not going to kill literally everything. We do gain some life off of it, but Impales and Undercity's Embrace will kill literally any creature on their field. So that's probably just better. Same with Lich's Caress. Alright, now we are just probably drawing a random card and discarding it every turn. And if that random card is a land, then we just put it out there. I am confident in saying that we are going to win this game at this point. It is just going to take a while because of the way this deck works. This is a very slow deck. Definitely probably not the most interesting deck I could have chose for a video, but I'm actually winning this time instead of losing like last time, so that's good, right? Is it more interesting to see a winning deck, or is this deck just not interesting at all? I feel like this deck is a lot more interesting slash enjoyable to play than to watch. This is probably not the best video. See, this is why I don't do constructed videos. Like, I just get destroyed, or like, if I play a deck that's the kind of deck that I like, everybody hates it. Because, you know, Magic is a game with a lot of variety. Everybody likes different kinds of stuff. I like combo decks and mill decks, and those are 2 of the most hated kinds of decks in the game. And I don't usually like control, but I like control mill decks, which control mill decks are probably the most irritating form of control decks, or the most irritating form of mill decks, whichever way you look at it. So there's the scoop from opponent. It is nice when your opponents scoop, because they very well could have fought the whole way out, but I think we both knew at that point that they were just not going to win. Even if they sandbagged cards in their hand and just discarded all of their regular removal, I would just play all of my answers and then start casting my Secrets of the Golden City again to refuel. Alright, this is a pretty awkward hand. We definitely need to draw an island, but it's like so close to just having all of the mana. Literally, I draw 1 island and I'm set on mana for a while. And it has the Deadweight to stop an early threat. However, it looks like our opponent is green, so I don't know if the Deadweight is going to kill anything that they play. Alright, opponent is probably a lot of colors. That's 2 Gateway Plazas in a row. Alright, things are getting pretty bad now. To not have the second blue, we have like 1 castable card. Alright, well they get a 1/1 Hexproofer that we'll have to kill with an Undercity's Embrace later, if we live that long. We did get the second blue. Slightly late, but that's fine. As long as they don't cast something super duper threatening here. They cast a Squire's Devotion on the Merfolk, so we definitely want to get the Undercity's Embrace, and there it is. Never didn't have it. I'm gonna wait till their turn to cast it. We're gonna see if they cast something before, like another Squire's Devotion, that I could just like respond to them casting. So Evolving Wilds for a swamp. So they are at least green, black, and white so far. Oaken form, very nice. So let's just 3-for-1 them with Undercity's Embrace. That's not quite a 3-for-1 because the token was made by another card. I'm going to save up mana for counterspells here, because they are definitely some kind of hexproof deck. So we just need to have the counterspell up for when they cast Jade Guardian. Let's Thought Collapse first. We will Devious Cover up next time they try to cast something with hexproof. Go ahead and pass. Jungleborn Pioneer, we'll cover that up. Shuffle all these back in. Well, that's actually mildly a mistake. I should probably only shuffle in the counterspells and Underseas Embraces. Actually, no, because I still need to deadweight the token that the Jungleborn Pioneers make in order to kill them. Thought Collapse the Hexproof guy. Cast a Secrets, hopefully drawn to another Thought Collapse. Looks like a no, so do we just... We do have 2 counterspells in there. Let's go ahead and actually clear the mind instead of Secrets to put the counterspells back into our deck. And this is kind of a problem if they just cast another Hexproof guy. Looks like I am off the hook for now. Hail and Lich's Caress, those are not what I need in this matchup. Undercity's Embrace, we got it. Undercity's Embrace, Devious Cover Up are at the ready. Luckily, there aren't that many hexproof cards in Pauper. I think it is literally just... There's Humongulous, the 5-mana 2/5. There's the 4-mana 3/3 Jade Guardian, and there's the 1/1 token that comes out of Jungleborn Pioneer. So we actually don't need to cycle through our Underseas Embraces that many times to just deal with every threat in their deck, so I think this is pretty much an auto-win since we managed to survive this long and kind of set up the draw cycle engine now. This is definitely a matchup that can go either way. We have a lot of targeted removal in our deck, so there are a lot of cards in here that just do not work against their deck at all. It is pretty draw dependent, I would say, this matchup. And we just drew better. Fortunately for opponent. So this is going to take a while. There are 33 cards left. So we're going to Undercity's Embrace whenever they cast a Humongulous or a Jade Guardian, and we will Thought Collapse or Devious Cover Up whenever they cast Jungleborn Pioneer. We're not casting Secrets of the Golden City because I'm going to use it to refuel whenever I have to. For now, we're just going to keep discarding our cards that don't work against them, just our targeted removal. We'll discard the Impales before the Lich's Caress at this point, because we could Lich's Caress the 1/1s and gain a little bit of life off of it, because mana doesn't really matter at this point, we have a lot. So we can play the 1 more mana card to gain a little bit of life. Born Pioneer, we'll try to Thought Collapse that. May have a counterspell of their own. They are every color. It looks like they're not red, but for the most part. Alright, so there's another win for Dimir Control. The Durant Mill of Standard Pauper. I know, probably no one's going to get that reference. Maybe one person will get that reference. Durant Mill was basically the mill deck I was talking about in Pokemon. Now everybody gets the reference because I explained it. Alright. I'm gonna keep this. This is a reasonable hand against pretty much anything. I think this is my favorite hand I've drawn so far, probably. So hopefully it'll work out. Opponent starts with a forest, so they may be on mono green fatties, they might be on the 5-color thingy-mabob, and they might just be on green-red monsters. We'll definitely find out. The format is a lot of homebrews and completely different decks, so this may be a deck that I've never seen before. Looks like it is some kind of green-red monstersy thingy. So the key cards in this match are definitely going to be our unconditional removal like Lich's Caress. So I might just Secrets of the Golden City here. Next turn I can Artful Takedown on the Erynx. Will take some damage in doing that, whereas I could Undercity's Embrace to get the Druid of the Cowl at the very least. Yeah, I don't think I actually need to draw cards right now because I can turn 4 Artful Takedown, turn 5 Lich's Caress. I guess Secrets of the Golden City makes sure that I hit turn 5 Lich's Caress. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And we'll discard the next Secrets of the Golden City, actually. Definitely not discarding the land. Alright, Llanowar Elves from opponent, and attack with Druid and Erynx. So the Erynx gets plus power, not toughness, right? Yeah, so we can Artful Takedown that guy, and we are definitely going to this turn. When they move to combat, hopefully they're not playing a bunch of Titanic Growths in their deck. Or that would be pretty bad. Oh my god, Wrecking Beast? I guess... So we can Artful Takedown, tap Wrecking Beast, kill Erynx, and then next turn we are really hoping to Lich's Caress or Impale. And if we can't, we'll have to Artful Takedown and tap it again. I think we have to just cover that up, because that's the only thing that I have that 100% guarantees that's gone. Because I don't know what I'm going to draw next turn. I'm actually not going to shuffle the cards back in yet, because I do not want to top deck a Secrets of the Golden City right now. And we top deck a Deadweight. Alright, so we're going to Artful Takedown next turn as well. I'm probably actually just going to Artful Takedown and double target the Erynx. That way if they have a Mutagenic Growth, or a Titanic Growth, it'll still be tapped down at the very least, so I won't take the damage, and they'll have to spend their Titanic Growth just to save the guy instead of also damaging me. So let's see what they got. Alright, they just let it die. So if they have Titanic Growths, then they're planning to use them to kill me out of nowhere with the other creatures. Mammoth Spider. Definitely need a swamp. Swamp would be really good. That's an island. Whew. Well, I guess we have to Artful Takedown again. That stops the most damage. I tap down the Spider. -2, -4 the Druid. It's kind of insane. Like, we would be in a really good spot if we get a swamp at any point here. So, please, universe. We're going to tap Mammoth Spider, kill the Druid of the Cowl, is the bigger mana dork. Hit me for 1 with Llanowar Elves. God, Swamp, please. At least that's a good card. Alright, we're actually fine even if we don't draw the Swamp now. Because now I Thought Collapse whatever they play, and then I Undercity's Embrace to kill the Mammoth Spider. We're actually not fine if we don't draw the swamp, because then if they play any really big creatures after whatever I thought collapse, I just die. Skewer the Critics. That's absolutely getting countered. I'm at 5 right now. Their other card is like a shock. I'm just dead. Nice. We milled one of their Wrecking Beasts. Oh my god. Alright. Black mana, where are you at? Desperate need of you. Sack the spider. Hopefully they just drew like a Llanowar Elves, or something I can actually deadweight, which is not a lot of things. Oh my god. This is getting real sketchy. But yeah, I was saying earlier, it is really insane how whoever wins this game is 100% dependent on if I draw a swamp. If I draw a swamp, I think I'm incredibly likely to win. But if I don't, then I am 100% guaranteed to lose. Wow. Let's draw a riot, dude. And do they have the shock? They've got the shock. Well, that kinda sucked. The no second swamp there was super deadly. I'm kind of over-exaggerating. I'm not like 100% guaranteed to win if I drew the second swamp. But if I drew it a long time ago, yeah. But if I drew it at that point, they have enough riot creatures in their deck that I would also have to make sure that I always have Undercity's Embrace or Artful Takedown, something to tap those guys down. Because I just took so much damage from not being able to kill their big dudes a lot quicker. But that'll happen. Mana Screw and Flood is a part of the game. And we weren't that mana screwed. We got to cast most of our cards. Opponent's deck was just very good. Lots of hasty dudes. It's pretty threatening. So this hand I kept because I can deadweight and Moment of Craving if they're an aggressive deck, and they're black-red, so they probably are. But we do definitely need to draw lands at some point. And there's the land, so I think we're good now, because Secrets of the Golden City should hit at least one land. Okay. Well, we lost. So if you don't know, I should have mentioned this earlier, but that's basically going to end this event. Another reason that we have all of the Thought Collapse and the 4 copies of... God, what is it called? The reason we have 3 Thought Collapse and 3 of the 4-mana counterspell is because we just scoop to Ill-Gotten Inheritance. If this touches the board, the game's completely over and they've won. Based on the way that this deck works. So, yeah, I have basically nothing in my entire deck that can win against an Ill-Gotten Inheritance, because we are in, like, Pauper. You know? There just straight up isn't anything in blue or black to stop this outside of counter spells. I guess I could run, like, some bounce spells in here, but that would just make the deck worse against most other cards. But yeah, I don't have life gain nearly consistent enough to survive this, and because I don't win because I win by milling my opponent, it takes me more than 20 turns to beat them, whereas Ill-Gotten Inheritance just automatically kills me in 20 turns. I think the only answer that I could possibly put into this deck for Ill-Gotten Inheritance that would make any sense would literally just be put in Ill-Gotten Inheritances of my own. But I don't want to do that because then the deck's not about mill anymore. And that's, like, it's fun. I also think that it's another kind of card that Ill-Gotten Inheritance, like, it'll save me from other Ill-Gotten Inheritances, but a lot of times against regular decks, it would honestly be better if it were just another removal spell, because I'd have to cut removal spells or counter spells to put Ill-Gotten Inheritance in here. Or maybe, like, just cut the Clear the Minds and just not try to mill people at all. But then I just lose against opposing Ill-Gotten Inheritances anyway, because then my Inheritance is never going to kill them faster than theirs saves themselves. I don't know. Ill-Gotten Inheritance is just a very big problem for this deck in general. I'm still going to play it out, but they don't need to cast anything else. If they cast enough other stuff, then I could possibly survive. Because if they just keep casting creatures, I can keep gaining life off of Lich's Caress. But they don't have to do that, because there's literally nothing in blue or black that can destroy an Ill-Gotten Inheritance. So yeah, that is definitely the biggest problem with this Dimir control build. Maybe it should be Sultai control or Esper control. That would give you access to Demystify. Just stuff that can destroy enchantments. But yeah, I don't know. The current deck plan is to just always save a counter up. And then, obviously, anytime that I see that they've played Ill-Gotten Inheritance, I just counter it. But I did not get to do it this game. Did not have the counterspell or the mana necessary. Yeah, other than that, this looks like a really good matchup. Except for Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Because, like, if you look at my hand, and then look at what they've managed to play so far, like, looks like they are definitely just like a regular aggro deck that just plays a lot of dudes, some cards to push in some extra damage, like the Burn Bright, probably Trumpet Blast, stuff like that. This deck is very good against those kinds of decks. It's just not good against Ill-Gotten Inheritance, unfortunately. And there's the second Ill-Gotten Inheritance, the nail in the coffin. Goblin Trailblazer. They're gonna let me gain a little bit more life from my Lich's Caress, so that's cute. Yeah, sorry for all the silence. I don't really know what to say here. I've kind of already said all that needs to be said here. There's nothing I could put in here if I stick to blue and black that can deal with an Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Like, I could be at parity with their Ill-Gotten Inheritance if I have my own copies, because then we're just both gaining and losing the same amount of life, but other than that, there's nothing that can target it. This is just me slowly watching my own death here. But hey, this went better than the first one. I got at least 2 wins. I don't remember if it's 2 wins and 2 losses or 3 wins and 2 losses. But I did not just get demolished by red every time. Alright, well, yep, there's the hand we ended with. That if those Ill-Gotten Inheritances were just 2 more creatures, then I obviously could have dealt with them. It looks like They kept casting creatures later in the game, like that random Footlight Fiend and Trailblazer, so I don't think they were just sandbagging creatures. They probably just have like Shivan Fires and maybe some Shocks or something in their hand. So if these were just regular creatures, this would be like the matchup, but fortunately, they are ill-gotten inheritances. I did play in testing against a Rakdos deck that wasn't using ill-gotten inheritances, and the whole game I was saving my counters up, terrified that they were going to drop ill-gotten inheritance, and they just never did. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching. Sorry if it wasn't your kind of deck, but I'm not, like, much of a constructed player, and I'd like to just play the decks that I like to play. So, sorry if you were not a fan of the Pauper videos, just because I'm so bad at constructed, like, Pauper and stuff. I definitely am recording this after about an hour after uploading the first video, and there's already like 3 dislikes, so apparently people just do not like it when you're not good at a format, so I guess I should just not make videos at all anymore, because I'm not very good. But anyways, if that was entertaining to you, leave a thumbs up or a comment or say what's up or whatever. I'm so bad at the end of video stuff. I usually just never say like, comment, subscribe, and all that bullshit because it always comes out so awkward. So let's just end with the normal thing and say if you watched, thank you for watching. I'm just gonna be genuine about it. If you genuinely liked it, then thank you for watching. And if you hated it because I'm not good at the format, then sorry. But thank you for sticking around this far for some reason, even though I'm super bad. But yeah, I'll see you all again soon for more Arena. I don't know if it'll be more Pauper. I'm just not much of a constructed guy, as you can tell by these last couple videos. Like I tried. It's not going super hot. This one did work better than the first one, but I feel like it's the kind of deck nobody's gonna want to watch, even though I'm better at this deck than the first deck. But yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry I'm rambling a bit here, but I figure if you stuck around this long, then you might be interested in the random ramblingness. But yeah, I'll see you all very soon for some more Magic Arena. Definitely. I've got 3,000 gems, so we can definitely do some drafts sometime soon when I have the time. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. Super excited to see War of the Spark hit the format, and I will have a bunch of gems to play that. But that's a couple months from now. That's the next thing that you could expect a million videos of. Until then, see y'all next time. I've said thanks for watching like 20 times, so I'm not going to say it again. Goodbye.